Stephen Colbert is the funniest man on TV. From his days playing a teacher on the popular TV series Strangers with Candy to his even more popular news show, The Colbert Report, Stephen has never failed to entertain his audience. Some may wonder when his creative genius will run out, but his fans will tell you that Stephen only gets funnier with age. Above all, there are three main reasons why Stephen Colbert is the funniest man on TV. He can turn anyone's words into a joke, he is funny on and off his TV show, and one 30-minute episode has 3 hours of fun. Firstly, he can turn anyone's words into a joke. I could cite many examples of Stephen's ability to pick out faults in what others say, and use those faults to twist their words into hilarious jokes. But by the time I said them, all the world would have come to an end, and I would be finishing the speech in front of an audience of super intelligent fishmen from another planet. Instead, I will give two examples. This first example comes from an episode of The Colbert Report that aired on April 12, 2012. Stephen Colbert picked out a segment from Fox News that showed Herman Cain talking about the presidential race. Herman said, "President Obama is very likable to most people, if you just look at him and his family. But if you look at his policies, which is what most people disagree with, it's a different story. I think many men are much more familiar with his failed policies than a lot of other people." Stephen's response to this statement was, "Yes, other people than men. That's not patronizing to a woman. That could be any kind of other people. Castrados, cyborgs, the list goes on for two." My second example comes from the same episode on April 12, 2012, just a few moments later. He starts out by saying that Mitt Romney uses the ancient art of Jumitsu to attack Obama by saying that the real war on women has been Obama's economic policies. This attack didn't have much effect, until, as Stephen put it, there was a cable news miracle. Democratic campaign strategist Hillary Rosen criticized the stay-at-home mother of five, Ann Romney. Hillary Rosen said, "What you have is Mitt Romney running around the country saying, 'Well, my wife tells me that what women really care about are economic issues, and when I listen to my wife, that's what I'm hearing.' Well, guess what? His wife has actually never worked a day in her life." Stephen responded by saying, "Wow, did she put her foot in Obama's mouth? Excuse me, campaign strategist Rosen, you know it's actually never worked a day in his life? Attacking motherhood." Stephen Colbert doesn't just turn people's words into jokes on his show. Stephen is funny no matter where he is. So we come to my second point. He is funny both on and off his TV show. My first example comes from a promotional video that Stephen taped for NASA. The idea for this video came from Jason Lau and Lisa Scott Parnell, who were a part of a team, the task of which was to spread the word about the work that NASA does. Even in the context of a serious promotional video, Stephen makes time for 4 well-placed jokes. These jokes were, "I love looking up at the stars and wondering what distant planets are still out there to be discovered, and can we frack them for methane? I love NASA even more because they are working around the clock to create new flavors of astronaut ice cream. NASA is working on cures to various diseases, such as whatever disease makes our astronauts move slowly in space." And at the end, holding up his hand in a Vulcan peace sign, he says, "These are not the droids you're looking for." My second example comes from a C-SPAN 3 conference that Colbert was asked to give a testimony on about the need to secure our borders and remove illegal field workers. Even though he is in a serious government setting, Stephen throws out a continuous stream of comedy, using his vast experience as a migrant field worker for one day. He remains very funny throughout the entire 5-minute, 29-second time period, and giving examples of all his jokes would take up too much time. So I will give 2 examples of his funniest jokes. The first is, America's farms are presently far too dependent upon immigrant labor to pick our fruits and vegetables. Now, the obvious answer is for all of us to stop eating fruits and vegetables. And if you look at the recent obesity statistics, you will see that many Americans have already started. The second is, maybe the easier answer is just to have scientists to develop vegetables that pick themselves. The genetic engineers over at Fruit of the Loom have made great strides in human fruit hybrids. After seeing how funny Stephen can be both on and off his show, it should be obvious by now that just one of his 30-minute episodes has 3 hours of fun. This is my third point. The only way I can give an example of this, other than to tell each of you to watch an episode yourself, would be to tell you how many jokes he tells in 2 random episodes. The first episode aired on April 10th, 2012. In this episode, Stefan told about 52 jokes during a 22-minute time span. That ratio gives about 2.4 jokes per minute. The second video aired on April 5th, 2012. In this episode, Stefan told about 50 jokes during a 22-minute time span. This ratio gives about 2.3 jokes per minute. Based upon these statistics, you can see that every episode of The Colbert Report is one big laugh all the way through, with only commercials to offer a break. This is why Stephen Colbert is the funniest man on TV. He can turn anyone's words into a joke, he is funny both on and off his TV show, and each of his 30-minute episodes holds 3 hours of fun.